Hey, welcome back to the Stash. In 1996, Marvel was no longer just telling simple superhero stories. They were telling human stories about failure, about family, and about fear. It had started with a handful of unlikely heroes. A blind lawyer with a death wish, a teenager struggling with guilt and greatness, a rich inventor bound to a machine, and 4 astronauts who came back from space, forever changed. But the Fantastic Four were something different. They argued, they broke down, they didn't wear masks or hide who they were. They were a family, flawed and painfully real. But what truly set them apart was where they dared to go. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were building an entire universe, and each issue of the Fantastic Four pushed further, be it with the Inhumans, across dimensions or beyond time, and in doing so they slowly reshaped what superhero comics could be. This was, in its purest form, ambition in ink, and it couldn't be more clearer when issue 48 of the Fantastic Four was released. It's of course, the Coming of Galactus. This was the moment where everything changed. The page exploded with scope, no longer confined to street-level crime or even intergalactic war. Now the threat wasn't evil, it was existence itself, a godlike entity. A force that moved through the cosmos not out of hatred but hunger. Galactus didn't want to conquer Earth like so many other characters did that were one-offs or just reoccurring villains for the time. He wanted to consume it, to strip it bare and move on, just like he had done to so many other planets across the universe. This wasn't a traditional villain, this wasn't even a person, but rather, this felt more like a concept. A concept about a cosmic truth that the Earth wasn't the center of anything, just another speck in a hungry universe. And this issue kind of broke the rules of what comics were supposed to be. Villains were no longer just mad scientists or war-consumed aliens. Now they were forces of nature. And heroes could be powerless. They could lose. But even in the face of cosmic annihilation, they stood tall. And that's what made it so special. This was the moment Marvel went properly cosmic. The moment comics stopped looking inward and looked up. And what stared back was something unknowable. Before we properly begin though, I want to take a quick second to say that here at The Stash, we're trying to reach 13,000 subscribers before the end of the month. It's a huge ask, I know, but with your help, I also know we can do it. So if you can, please hit that subscribe button. Any support here truly does mean the world to me. But with all that said, this is the first chapter in the Galactus trilogy. This is the Coming of Galactus. Somewhere in the deep vastness of outer space, an incredible figure hurtles through the cosmos. A being whose sole purpose is to serve the one known throughout the universe as Galactus. This Silver Surfer zooms along the starways like a living comet, with the freedom and wild abandon of the wind itself. On and on he soars, dodging meteors, skirting around asteroids, rocketing from planet to planet with entire galaxies as his ports of call, with the known universe itself as his highway. He is feared throughout each and every planet that knows of him and his master. No matter the civilization, no matter the inhabitants, there is always one constant. Wherever the surfer appears, Galactus cannot be very far behind. Later on, the Fantastic Four finally arrive home after completing their fateful journey. But upon their arrival, the Thing notices something all too strange. There happens to be 2 suns up in the sky. Reed dismisses Ben's claims, but his own eyes can't believe what's in front of him when he finally looks up. Suddenly, the second sun begins to expand. It fills up the bright sky until flames consume it in its entirety. And seconds later, after a breathtaking descent and landing, the Fantastic Four are bewildered to find that the entire airport is deserted. Reed concludes it's due to the flames in the sky, and the sounds of shouting from a fear-filled crowd within the city only further confirm his suspicions. They're determined to find an answer to this mystery, but without warning, Johnny flames on and rushes to check out the crowd, leaving all of Reed's concerns to fall on deaf ears. Quickly reaching the heart of the great city, the Human Torch sees a sight he is destined to never forget. the sight of a mighty metropolis in the dead grip of panic. All those below frantically rush to wherever they deem safe, and when a civilization feels as threatened as they do, they can jump to some rather harsh conclusions. The mere sight of Johnny sets them all off, leaving them certain he's behind the fiery sky. Bricks are thrown, water hoses are shot, and it's not long until one of the world's greatest heroes are reduced to a wrongly accused villain. Meanwhile, having retrieved their speedy jet cycle, the rest of the Fantastic Four race against the clock to save Johnny. Once in position, the Thing takes a leap out of the cycle and into the feud below. He lands with a thunderous roar. Its clobbering time echoes throughout the city streets, and with the civilians hearing the Thing's blood-curdling battle cry, they instantly lose their need for battle. They run as fast as they can, but of course, there's always one guy who has to push it. The man gets right into Ben's face. He genuinely believes he could take him. Naturally, the Thing warns him, but sometimes people need to find out before they learn their lesson. The first strike lands, with Ben not even moving an inch. Then, pushing his luck way too far, a second hit connects. Ben's all fine, but less could be said for the man's knuckles. The Thing then calmly raises his hand, and with complete ease, knocks the guy out with a simple flick. But then, once Ben gently places him down to rest, Johnny points out that the sky has finally cleared up. They're still completely confused on the entire situation, so they go back to meet with Reed to see if he has anything new. But before he can say anything certain, he'll have to spend some valuable time in the lab. Even as Reed speaks though, a gigantic star in a distant galaxy explodes, transforming itself into a mighty supernova. And as the indescribable impact fills the heavens, the escaping gases catch the Silver Surfer, flinging him outward across the endless void. Further and further travels the strange space wanderer, riding the shockwaves, across countless light years heading in the direction of the Milky Way, in which nestles our own solar system and the planet Earth. And then, at last, he finds what he has been seeking. A sun. Our sun. A true G-type star. Instantly he realizes that such a sun must contain at least one planet with the energy and the elemental resources so necessary to the great Galactus. Meanwhile though, tensions begin to rise within the Fantastic Four's Baxter building. Time has become lost to the one known to the world as Mr. Fantastic. He's spent endless hours deep within his lab, searching desperately for the answers he needs to potentially save the world. Reed's neglecting everything and everyone, but especially Sue and himself. But it's of little concern to him. The stakes are far, far too big. Sue, however, is having none of it. As Sue goes to find Reed, Johnny gazes into the sky, baffled once more by what he sees. The entire sky is filled, not with flame this time, but with space debris, and within mere seconds, everyone has seen the incredible phenomenon. But back atop the famous Baxter building, Reed tries to push Sue away for the time being, but she won't stand for it. He's her husband, and she wants him to be healthy. She tells him the world won't end if he takes the time to eat, but Reed isn't too sure about that. Sue hesitates, then asks what he means. Suddenly, a strange voice fills the room. The voice of the man who dared never to interfere. The voice of the Watcher. The Watcher explains that he has been causing the strange sightings in the sky. But once he saw that his artificial flame shield caused panic among the civilians, he quickly opted it out for inorganic space debris. Sue, though, can't believe her eyes. She questions him. The Watcher swore never to interfere, yet here he is right in front of her. He doesn't deny her knowledge, but instead warns her that the danger is far too great, for the Silver Surfer is approaching. Then his voice turns even more stern, as he details the Herald and his master. He tells Sue that the Silver Surfer is the advanced scout for Galactus. Galactus, a being who drains entire planets of their elements and then leaves them to dry, unable to support the beauty and life that once inhabited each and every corner. The Watcher could not merely stand by and allow this to happen to Earth. That is why he's been trying to conceal this planet from the Silver Surfer. And to make it worse, all who reside in the known universe, only Galactus has power enough to match the Watchers. But then, suddenly, the moment of crisis is now at hand, for the Silver Surfer has now reached the moon. And the Watcher's grave concern is well warranted, because within mere seconds, the Silver Surfer penetrates the rocky barrier around Earth. He realizes that some power has attempted to conceal the planet that now lies helpless before him. Then, as he hurtles over New York like an unleashed meteor, a flaming, flashing figure zooms to challenge him. But with complete ease, the Silver Surfer evades the Human Torch and lands upon the Baxter Building. The end times are upon them, more so than ever before. And so, without wasting any more time, the Silver Surfer signals for Galactus to appear. The damage is done, but that doesn't stop the Thing from getting some action. He knocks the Surfer clean off his board, causing him to plummet downwards. Johnny races to go save him, but the Watcher corrects their mistake. A simple fall would never hurt one such as he. It was just the easiest way for him to leave. Then he warns them once more. The Fantastic Four must forget about the man who rides the skyways. The danger is Galactus, for he is the ultimate danger, and perhaps the final danger. The Watcher can already sense his universe-spanning ship entering Earth's atmosphere as they speak. Then, without warning, he has arrived. His mighty vessel sends forth the testing devices used to sample Earth's elemental composition. Galactus has found what he seeks. Galactus has now marked Earth for complete destruction. Galactus has arrived.